Hello. Welcome to Drinkin N Thinkin with Mike Mason. I'm Mike Mason, and I'm drinking, thinking about something. So, this is actually the first time well, that's not the first time, but just saying it out loud, just kind of was always weird for me. So, for me, being an empath is like being very aware of a lot. Very aware of a lot. In fitness and athletics, it helps being sensitive enough to have enough body sensitivity to know the positioning of your body and what you need it to be in to perform your move or exercise correctly. In social situations, that feeling when it gets tense and somebody might have done something or something happened and it's just tense, it's very thick. That is very thick. Or when someone is getting into an argument and you're not even involved into it, but you have an anxiety of it because you feel the tension between them two. I mean, if we really wanted to break it down, though, there's some weird things about it that probably need to be discussed, but that goes down a whole rabbit hole of crazy shit. Like people say, I can sense people's emotions. I can tell he was gonna, all right, and their thoughts and all this other stuff. So there's only one way that could be possible. Now, well, in my theory, because I have theories, if we were to talk about it electromagnetically, bioelectromagnetically, then we could go that route. That two people can communicate energetically. The human body does give off an electromagnetic field. The biggest one comes from the heart. Most people think it comes from the brain, but it actually comes from the heart. The electrical field of the heart is 60 times greater than that of the brain, and the magnetic field is about 100 times greater than that of the brain. The heart and the brain communicate more than any two organs in the human body. They communicate through hormones, through biopulse waves, which is like the perception of your own heartbeat, through neurons and through their own electromagnetic fields. They also communicate as well. So you have this big field, or your aura, if you want to go that, or your chi, whatever you want to call it, or your prana or mana, is a real thing. And it can be tested by, they call it squid-based equipment. Squid meaning superconductive quantum interference device. So they use the device to pretty much pick up people's auras and measure them. They measured it in every direction from the human body to 9 to 12 feet. I always thought that was interesting. That whole thing is interesting. And then what gets more interesting is, so since it's pretty much generated mostly by your heart and but some by your brain as well. They hooked the experiment was done at the Heart Math Institute, and they hooked up an EKG and an ECG or EEG. I think or the EC. Okay, so the electrical, pretty much the one of those things, the electrical sensation, or you know what I mean, EKG, ECG, all that other shit. Pretty much one for your brain, one for your heart. They can measure the electrical current of this drink is hitting good. It can measure the electrical current from your heart and your brain, right? So people's signals when they got close to each other would match up, but they would match up quicker when they touched. Like their brain signals, and heart signals matched up on the ECG and was it EKG or EEG? I'm not sure, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, they matched up, they synced up. And it makes sense. It makes sense. That's like when you meet somebody and you don't know how or why, but y'all click and you start talking to them like you've known them your whole life. Sometimes you tell them your deepest, darkest secrets of things you just don't even know why, because you're so comfortable because y'all just synced up. That even goes to it's a quantum physics is a theory called quantum entrainment. Pretty much when two things come together in the same vicinity, they start to energetically sync up. That's like if you put two clocks or two monotones, two metronomes next to each other, they'll beat off different tones or paces, and then they'll sync up. Eventually, they'll sync up. It's very interesting stuff. People do it too, and that's just scratching the surface. Because then you start going into other stuff, man, and it just gets weird. This is good. But that's it, man. Y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, follow my page.